Hello, hello. I hope you guys having a good night tonight. I know it's crazy on the YouTube streets, all that's going on. But Chantell gonna come tonight and give a little perspective about a lot of stuff happening in the YouTube on the YouTube streets. I want to check my volume right quick. I hope y'all had a good day and having a good night tonight. But Chantell gonna come tonight and give a little perspective about a lot of stuff happening on the YouTube streets. I want to check my volume right quick. I mean, it sounds pretty good. It sounds a little loud to me. Let me see. Yeah, that was pretty loud. Go back into my music. Yes, yes, yes. It's been crazy on the YouTube street. So I love Dawn and I scrolled through some channels to see what's been going on out there on the YouTube streets, and honey, it is crazy. It is getting crazy on the YouTube streets. A lot of people think that what goes on YouTube does not affect the happiness in real life, but that's not reality. That's not true at all. What goes on social media, listen, indeed, it affects real life. People carry this stuff from off of YouTube into the real world, especially weak-minded people. If you can't separate the two, people that cannot respect other people's opinions and let them be. You know how you're talking to somebody? You can be on a panel and you're talking to other people. One second. You're talking to other people and the other person pop off, get all crazy and stuff. I mean, people are already dealing with, mental health conditions, situations, and situations. And when you giving your opinion, they don't know how to respect that and let it be, especially if it goes against what they stand for. Ooh, especially when you're talking about what you believe in, your religious beliefs. Oh my gosh. Some of them go bonkers if you mention anything about God, because their opinion, of course. Listen, I have nothing to do with what somebody believes in. If you express to me that you believe in this and that, I frankly don't give any care. Long as you're not in my household with it. If you gay or whatever, it's none of my business. Why should I care about that? I have nothing to say about it. As long as you don't approach me with it. But you got people on these YouTube streets that's not quite stable. There's a bunch of people coming from different walks of life, different countries and everything. Half of these people don't understand what they be listening to because it's different cultures. They don't understand the depthness of the culture of the person that's talking. Like us, for instance, ADOS FBA, they do not understand our culture. They think they do, but they don't understand the depthness. They don't even understand that when we say they're not like us. You don't understand the depthness of what our people, my kind of people, have been through. What your people been through, for instance, colonization over there in Africa is completely different from Africans kidnapping Africans and selling them to foreigners who in turn sold them around the world. That's two different things. And they were horribly treated by these foreign nations. And then you want to play victim, talking about you being colonized, though. Of course, after selling people for freaking centuries, what did you expect? Blessings? Did you expect blessings when you're slaughtering each other to sell each other? Oh my goodness. I'm going somewhere with this right here. You're slaughtering each other to sell each other. And you expect to reap goodness out of such a horrible thing. You're selling each other to foreigners at that. These people had gold, diamonds, all kinds of resources to sell and trade with Europeans, foreigners, but they chose instead to sell their people. Ooh, they didn't give a living crap about what was going on with those people. They could have been kidnapping those people, feeding them to something, or who knows? They don't care. But then they, in turn, became colonized and they welcomed colonization. I must tell you again, they welcomed it because by then they had been ruined themselves, cursed themselves. You're selling your children, sacrificing your children, selling your people, kidnapping people, and oh, so horrible. Then you want to play victim. You want to play victim, talking about you were colonized. Really? You welcomed it. Trust me. Your ancestors welcomed that. They had came to ruins, complete ruins. Nothing to look forward to. They had brought themselves to ruins. Again, you can't expect blessings to come from such behavior. West Africa is the only place that I know of that literally sold their people off. Like, oh my gosh, they were kidnapping their people and selling them to foreigners. Of course, your countries over there is going to be, oh, all over, not just West Africa. East Africa took part in it as well. But of course, it's going to be ravished and ruined. It's like a household of 10, 12 children, and the parents doing all kind of stuff to these children in the household. They got them doing this and doing all kind of awful stuff for money. And eventually, the household is going to come to ruins, right? You don't expect that kind of household to be blessed, to prosper. It's going to actually come to ruin. They ruin themselves. I mean, the parents who are in charge, of course, ruin themselves, their lineage, the family. And that's why I was saying it's hard for a lot of people to accept that Africans, as Obama said himself, Africans ruined Africa. Africa is poor because of Africans. It's not ruined or poor because of nobody else. They welcomed colonization because they had come to ruin. They were ruined. They welcomed the white man way in hopes that they could be like him. Yeah. Let's act like we don't know that. I mean, let's not act like we don't know that. So I wanted to say that first, make that very clear. Playing the victim is something Africans do very well. Well, we were colonized. Please don't. All these DOSs around the world, when I say DOS, descendants of slaves, all of these DOS groups around the world, descendants of slaves. One second. They are there because they are there in foreign countries and stuff. Mixed breeds now, no longer Africans, removed 400 years. They no longer you, their ancestors were you. And they exist in those places, foreign nations, even though they had African lineage of ancestry, female ancestry. They're there because of African kingdoms sold them to foreign people, who in turn sold them around the world. So when Africa look around the world and they see these DOS groups, descendants of slaves all around the world, Africa is responsible for that. Don't tell me nothing about the purchaser. Because when somebody want to take something down, they usually go to the root to destroy something. And the root of slavery was Africa. Don't tell me nothing about purchasers. Who sold their children and their family? And I'm not saying it was actual people selling their actual family members, but I considered them from the outside looking in. I would say all y'all was related. But when we come to learn that that's not how Africans see themselves. Africans see themselves as complete strangers and enemies. I mean, these dark-skinned people see other dark-skinned people as pure enemies, nothing more. They trust the pale-skinned people more than they trust another group of dark-skinned people. See the psychology in this? Yeah, it goes deep. So when Africans, I'm going somewhere with this right here, when they look around the world and see all these DOS groups, descendants of slaves, how dare they claim that they want to get reparations for the DOS groups and for African countries that were colonized? Are those people crazy or what? That's pure nonsense, pure foolery, and pure disrespect of the DOS groups. I don't know how many other groups they were so-called representing besides Black Americans, but my goodness, are they trying us? Yes, they are. They are trying. These are the very people that's responsible for slavery, selling people, human trafficking people. And then they say we want reparations. Man, just the mindset is crazy. The mindset is crazy. So, words, these, first of all, these people cannot comprehend. Like, they're not taking in what the ADOS FBA families say. I see all these panels and stuff and, you know, topics about delineation and so forth. And what I mainly see is the fact that Africans simply cannot respect. Yes, read my ticker at the bottom of the screen. You see that? Africans simply cannot accept that ADOS FBA which is not a hate group, we're delineating and we reject your identity. We have come to the point because of your disrespect. We have come to the point of not wanting to have anything to do with you guys. We don't want to be identified as you, your name. We don't want to have anything and you have pushed the people to that point of people that adored Africa at one point. Mama Africa, red, black, and green, all that old foolery, that Pan African stuff. Oh, that's stumped out now. Pan Africans, go find something else to do, baby. It's done. It's a wrap. The gig is up. You got to find something else to do with yourself. Going to the continent talking about you going to get the ADOS FBA family to come over there and build Africa ain't happening. It's not happening. The people now are very aware of how you feel about them, how you think about them, how you despise the hell out of them. Yet, you want them to bring their dollars to Africa to build it up. Some people couldn't keep the cat in the bag. They had to express how they felt directly to ADOS FBA via social media. They grabbed the opportunity to get on the airwaves and express how much better they are than the ADOS FBA family who live in a nation, one second, who live in a nation among a people who tried to destroy our reputation and make us out to be what we're not, which is terrible people. Well, we're not. And anybody with common sense that take the time to do a little study, a little history, a little reading, you'll find out the truth. So it's all by design how they try to ruin the reputation of the ADOS FBA people in this country. And Africans and so have come to this country and participated in the mistreatment of the ADOS FBA family. The fact that you even spew foolery out your mouth when you know that all of us, hold on, when you know that all of us don't wear sagging pants. All of our sons don't wear sagging pants. Are you crazy? A lot of them are in colleges, graduating by the hundreds. But you want to go ahead and follow what the white man's saying, say our sons ain't nothing but pants sagging idiots. Really? All of us, all of our daughters are not twerking in public. There's plenty of my fellow younger sisters that do not twerk all over. All Black men and women are uneducated, huh? Really? Really? We nothing but lazy bums and welfare queens. Really? That's what all of us do in this country, all ADOS FBA? All ADOS FBA Black men are deadbeat dads? Really? And all ADOS FBA women are terrible mothers? And this is the same kind of crap that Genesis push on his panel. He speaks all these type of things. He push a narrative that this is what the ADOS FBA family is about. Because I want you to understand something. ADOS FBA, we are Black Americans. We are the Black Americans. If you're not ADOS FBA, you're not a Black American. You cannot take somebody's identity. That's what happened with the Liberians in Africa. The local Africans not only stole their country, but they stole their identity. They took it. And that's what they're doing over here in America. They are forcefully taking our identity, which is Black American, and trying to separate us from it. They up there saying they Black American when they know they are immigrant lineage. I don't care that you was born in America. You're not a Black American. You're of immigrant parents. You're either Jamaican American, Haitian American, Nigerian American, something like that. You have a name that's already established and tied to you by your mother or father, your parents. You know very well you're not a Black American. So to use the name Black American to describe yourself is very disrespectful. It's a form of we're gonna take your and ADOS FBA family. This is the mentality. This is the mindset of these people. They did this in Liberia. They feel like they're gonna take what they want. When it comes to that rap, hip hop stuff, the Caribbeans, they're gonna take your no, we did the hip hop. No, we was all the foundation of the Harlem Renaissance. Ain't no Black Americans, no ADOS was there until we came. What? Harlem Renaissance was popping way before Black immigrants made it to Harlem, New York. But they're going to rewrite history because what they see is unorganized people that did not keep close ties, that welcomed everybody in to their presence and to their bosoms and to their homes with no kind of boundaries. Now everybody's walking around identifying themselves as you, cosplaying as you, ADOS FBA Black American, playing right in your face, all because you didn't establish boundaries. And I hate to do the gender banking, but I must say this is via Black men, ADOS FBA Black men, always welcoming, opening up the doors to others to come in and come in. I think it has a little something to do with the fact a lot of them are. A lot of them feel, one second, a lot of them feel that success can't come unless it is a white person involved, white people involved. That's why they worship white people. I've been saying that a lot online. These brothers that white worship, it is ridiculous, extremely gross. I mean, sometimes I think maybe this is a white person using a AI voice tool, because this mentality, this that's the very mentality that would destroy our community. Black men that worship white people. Okay. So let me get back on topic. Um, we don't act like all Black Americans ain't about crap. Because baby, it's a many of us that's about it. Many of our sons out here that don't wear sagging pants. Many of our ladies out here that don't be twerking all over in public. And if you want to talk about real twerking, we can't touch Jamaican twerk. The Jamaican women twerking and men? Mm-mm. Now that shouldn't even be shown on TV. At least you can do a little twerking the way we doing in America. You can twerk on stage or something, but the Jamaican twerking? Oh no, honey, Now that is something you don't want to. No, no. If that is what you want to see your daughters doing. A lot of our young men and women are graduating from college left and right by the hundreds, baby, by the hundreds. A lot of our young men are being fathers to their sons. Oh, yeah, baby, this ain't the drug epidemic anymore. Our young men are being dads and awesome, excellent dads. And our young women are awesome, excellent mothers. They're taking care of their children and they're holding down a household. I mean, whoever ain't saying thank you to their mother, to their children's mother, because I know she got the most responsibility on that table. And she maintaining taking care of her children in spite of whatever. You ought to be thanking her. Our young women today are awesome mothers. Unfortunately, no woman wants to be without the traditional family, a man and a woman and children. And so a lot of times they give way to crazy men that ruin the family. But I ain't talking about that right now. All right. I'm talking about how our community is not a load of crap. Far from a load of crap. And only an intelligent person, only an intelligent person who can read between the lines, who can understand the depthness of different things, and who have discernment, can understand that what's going on with us in this country today is by design. We have a hand of oppression still against the ADOS FBA family, which we are Black Americans. We are the Black Americans. It's by design. And so, with all the disrespect, I put it like this here. What goes up must come down. You guys were allowed to come into the country and take control and have a future here in America, being very disrespectful to the ADOS FBA family in the process, want to disrespect us just as worse as the whites. Oh yeah, we noticed it. Yeah. We noticed. While we standing back, because the hand of oppression refused to give us loans and all that they were handing out to a bunch of immigrants, helping foreigners and refugees and all of that. Black women in long lines. I remember in East Point, they had a long line, like 300 people out there in the hot sun trying to get a Section 8 voucher. All those Black women just to try to get a Section 8 voucher, get some help, because a lot of them were probably single mothers that could use the help. And you know what? They only had like 60 vouchers available. But in turn, check this out. You got them bringing in refugees and all kind of foreigners, housing them with Section 8 and public housing, paying for them and their children's schooling. The parents get, a lot of the parents from those war-torn countries, they get what they call that Social Security. They put them on Social Security because they got some type of disability when they already get here. So they collect social security checks. Sometimes it be both of the parents getting social, or the children, because you know the children be having defects already too when they get here. I mean, the whole household is just straight up funded. In the meantime, you got Black women out there that's ADOS FBA working their ass off, paying bills, can't get food stamps because they make $10 an hour. Taking care of 3 kids by themselves make $10 an hour, but can't get food stamps. Add a car note onto the rent and essentials and so forth. You can understand the equation, right? This lady is struggling. Even if she put a child dad, even if she put them on child support, it's not going to be a lot of money. There's only a percentage of, it's only a percentage that you can take from somebody else's paycheck for child support. And it is not a large percentage. This woman cannot get assistance in this country. But when she turns and look around, you have mad foreign groups, all kind of Africans and Europeans, all of them are getting assistance. All of them have Section 8 vouchers, housing, food stamps. School is free for them and their children. Did you hear this nonsense? It's free for them and their children. I mean, like, okay. So listen, they had it going on like that. And Black America just sitting back like, okay. So this how they doing us. All right, you're getting grants and loans left and right. They don't want to F with us though, because you know it's by design. Oh, y'all want to play with us? We gonna offer you jobs, but you want to demand more pay? I'm gonna show you ADOS FBA. How much I'm gonna pay you? How much more I'm gonna pay you? Because you know our people was like, we're not about to work for $10 an hour for a job that's worth $34 an hour. Okay. And they were like, oh, I love the ADOS FBA family, aka Black Americans. They do not listen, they were like, nah, we're gonna go ahead and sit this one out. We're not about to sit up here and work, 40-hour shifts, for $10 an hour for a job that's supposed to be really, you should be paying us at least $34 an hour for this type of work. They did that to a group of Mexicans, by the way, and one of them went to a lawyer. And the Mexicans were afraid to speak up because, they were illegal. They needed the money. But that lawyer got a hold of it. That lawyer took the case for free and was like, he got all 12 of the Mexicans who did, it was building a bridge. And they paid those people $12 an hour for a job that was supposed to be paying 30-something dollars an hour. And that lawyer was peed off. That lawyer fought for those people. And each of those illegal immigrants, they were being deported, of course, because they're illegal. He got each of them $33,000 a piece. That's what's up. But the point is, they were willing to be the cheap labor of America. And the ADOS FBA family were not. That's why I say it's by design. We had refused to do a lot of stuff that they were offering. Well, he'll do this job for $10, but it's really a $34 an hour job. We'll do this for this, but refuse to give our schools funding. When they get to our schools, we ran out of money. Really? Refuse to give our neighborhoods funding. The budget, listen, by the time the politicians, who get the money, take their little cuts, because, they all take their little cut now. When it's finished taking their cut, ain't no money left to build bus stop shelters. The bus stops with shelters for like when it rains. Ain't no money for bus stop. That's why you see Black communities reckless like that. They'll give a little funding to them, but by the time it hit the community, the programs, there is nothing left. So they rarely give any funding to Black communities. Give me a second. Okay, so um it's by design. We, the ADOS FBA Lineage, aka Black Americans, the people set it out. They were like, look, we're gonna go ahead and fit this out. We're gonna figure out another way because we just can't work jobs for $10 an hour that's worth $34 an hour. The work is way more. We're not that dumb, huh? So what they decided to do, they decided to usher in a bunch of immigrants. Even the ones that was over, they were like, come on, come on. They got a lot of work here. The Black people lazy. They put out this memo that we were lazy and ungrateful. And so they they were telling their mates, come on, come on, it's a lot of jobs. The Black people are lazy. That's why they came over here by the hundreds and thousands. And every time you see them, they be like, oh, Black people lazy. Y'all Black Americans are lazy. You're lazy. What? We built the whole country. How the hell are we lazy? Don't you know who built the whole country? No, you're just an idiot. You are working for $10 an hour, doing a $34 an hour job. You can't even speak up because you're illegal and they're going to kick you out the country if you speak up on for yourself. So see, the whole thing, it was about cheap labor. It's almost equivalent to the workshop factories they have in other countries. You know, in them other countries, they have those children and stuff working. Like, oh my gosh, they work them a lot. They work them really, really hard. The sweatshops, they call them and stuff. It was equivalent to that. They wanted our people to work hard like that and pay little money like that. And the ADOS FBA family said no, no, thank you. So they got mad, of course. They started locking the brothers up for petty stuff, causing our families to be broken. And out lies that we just all kind of awful stuff by design. But let's get to the point. The point is, it was all lies, and now you're seeing it. In fact, we were the opposite of what they were saying. And now you get to see it as foreigners, immigrants. What goes up? You had your turn. Your turn. You came in, disrespected us, was doing all kind of crazy crap. The white people like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? All of these foreigners flooding the country. Oh my gosh, it's cheap labor time, honey. Because the ADOS FBA family ain't doing it. That's what's going on. And so, what goes up must come down. They came in, they looked down on us, called us lazy, talked all kind of trash about us. That's untrue. And now look what they're doing. You know they're deputizing the citizens to be able to walk up to foreigners and ask them to show their papers, their legal papers. Yes, honey, it is true. They have already started in 2 states. I know Missouri is one of them because it's a state thing. It goes by state. If the state want to participate, they can. I know Missouri is one of the participating states, and I forgot the other state that's participating in it. They have deputized their citizens to go out and walk up to illegals, anybody they think is illegal, and demand to see their legal documents to be in this country. Okay. Listen, they have already made it clear. Yes, please do call us and inform us. Let us know. And you could get $1,000. I think they brought it down to some places 750. But it's true. It's true. And for any hate group online, all you got to do is pick up the phone and make a call and let them know that these people are pushing hatred. And you know they're going to go find where they work at or their business. And they're going to pretty much be lose all kind of sponsorship and everything. Okay? So it takes a fool to learn, I guess. You don't get online. If you have any type of profession or business, you don't get online and start spewing hatred about the ADOS FBA family because you're liable to lose that business and you're liable to lose your profession like a lot of people have lost, unfortunately. And you can't say, well, it's not my business. They don't care about that. See how some people can make it bad for you? When you F around with silly people, they can actually make it bad for you because they may not be the owner of your company. They work at your company and they bring a bunch of trash to the door of your company, about to have your company put out of business because they are childish idiots that get online and spew hatred against the particular people. A particular people that's probably your customer base. Ain't that stupid? That's real stupid. I'm quite sure where Carla works. He claimed he works his sister business or whatever. I'm quite sure of a lot of his customers, the ADOS FBA, which is plenty, I'm sure that's the ones that he cries about. Well, the Haitian lady got all the Haitians and the whites got all the whites. So what are you guys left with? Caribbeans? Because you Caribbeans, sir. I doubt it that they come into your business. I'm pretty sure you're aiming towards the ADOS FBA family. And if so, because we are the Black Americans, and if so, how would his customers feel to know how he speak of the ADOS FBA family online? How would they feel? What would they do with that information? You see, that's dumb people stuff. Dumb. If I had a profession or a business, I would not go on here saying not one thing about another group of people, especially hateful things. Are you stupid or dumb? Which one, huh? I don't want to know. Never mind. So back to the point, it was all about cheap labor. It wasn't about a love for immigrants. It was all about cheap labor and companies saving their money. A lot of companies started hiring these people because they were cheap labor. They were able to become millionaires. They did not have to pay up. They were able to save up all their money. They had enough money to left over to hire people to take care of their lawn. They didn't have to lift a finger, a lot of these business owners. I mean, just think of this. I have a business and I'm supposed to be paying my employees like $34 an hour, but I actually pay them $9 an hour. Okay, say I got 200 of them or 300. Hello. They're not going to complain or anything because they legal. That's what it was about. Money making. This is America, capitalist society. But the game has changed now. It's changed. When a lot of these illegals are put out the country, they're going to in turn force the Americans that's remaining to be the workforce, to take over the workforce again. They're going to make it real hard to get any type of assistance because they want you to go and work these jobs. But here's the thing. You won't be paid $9 an hour to do a $34 an hour job. You're going to be paid properly, accordingly to your work skill and your energy effort that you put into it. You won't be their cheap labor. They're going to have to pay up and add a bunch of benefits to it if they want their company to excel. And Trump has made it where pretty much it's going to be better and cheaper to buy your things in America, not from abroad. The tariff thing he's working on. Well, he do know what he's doing on that part, huh? You know what he's doing. He's like, wait a minute. I'm going to make it where it's cheaper to buy you over here. Then I'm going to get rid of all the illegals and they're going to have a bunch of jobs available like they do. And the people may not be ready to go back to work, but I'm going to make it good for them where they want to go to work. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. You're going to want to go to work because you're going to be paid really well. You're not going to be cheap labor. And when I spill when I give my commentary, this is not based on hatred. This is based on my point of view. It's my point of view. So yeah, what goes up must come down. You had your fun. What goes up must come down. Calling us all kind of names while you were here, getting all the Section 8 and the food stamps and welfare while we out there busting. You know what I'm saying? Hardly could make ends meet. Can't even can't get food stamps or hardly get your light bill paid. Assistance for that because of course it'd be long lines. Calling us lazy, disrespecting us, all that there. Now tables have turned and guess what? The seesaw have come back down. It went up and now it's coming back down. And now you got to see us. And then you want us to come out and protest with you and help you out. Africans want us to stand with them now. At first, oh, y'all not African. You're not African. That's all you ever heard. You don't have an African tribe. You're not African. I think it was O'Shea. I seen somebody tell that to him on his show, and he was so hurt. He looked so hurt. O'Shea was sitting on his couch. He was like, the guy said, well, I do believe if you don't have a tribe to trace back to, you're not African. That dude looked it really, really hurt. I was like, now that's just cold to say. There's a young lady who moved to London with her family from America. And I follow her channel because I followed her mother channel and she asked us to follow her daughter channel for support. And this young lady, I didn't like when she was out and about and they asked her where she was from, an African, and she said um, she was American. No, but where are you from? And the little girl like, what do you mean? She was 17. What do you mean? Africa? I don't know. No, you're not African because you don't have a tribe in Africa. I said, oh, we have all heard that part. But guess what? Now they want us to stand with them over here in America. Girl, they begging for us now. No, we're one. Because they know Trump is gonna come for them next. Y'all do know that, right? Oh goodness. If you don't know that, I don't know what to say. They know Trump is coming for them next. So they want us to stand with them. That's why they're doing all that. They don't like us. It's clear. We already know how they feel about us. They have showed it a very long time, way before social media. They didn't F with anybody of ADOS FBA, aka Black American. They didn't mess with us. They told their children, stay away from us, don't marry us, anything. Way before social media. They didn't go to our churches. They didn't, any of that. Okay. They didn't even try to have some connection with us. Unlike Caribbeans came, assimilated, melted in, and we all just kind of have our own events, even though we assimilated. You know, they assimilated into the Blackness already here in America, but they still have their events, their celebrations. It's like they brought to the ADOS FBA lineage their culture too. Okay. So they're assimilated with us, but they also still have their own culture they celebrate. That's the difference. You understand what I'm saying? They don't come looking down on us, holding their nose up and all that little crazy stuff. They don't do that. All right. And they assimilated with us so much till they actually think that they entitled to say that they actually were the, founders of rap and they were the founders of all the stuff that we founded actually. So that's what we got an issue with Caribbeans, but we don't got no issue of them being tribal minded. Not with the Haitians either. It's just the Africans. So anyway, back to the point. They're like, oh no, please stand with us. At first it was, we don't like you people. You people are pathetic. You're this, you're that. Now they're like, all of a sudden in a blink of an eye, no, please don't leave us. We're one with you. We have to work together. We're one. What are you talking about? You just was saying we're not African. That's because they know their turn is coming. They know that Trump do not like Africans. Oh my gosh, I just realized that. Can you imagine sitting in front of Trump as an African president and he know that you've seen those tapes of him saying African countries are shithole countries and we need to get rid of those people. Oh my gosh. I tell you, I wouldn't have showed up unless my people was just in dire need of surviving. That is the only way I would have showed up. I think the Nigerian president was offered to go to it. He didn't show up. He did right. I would not have shown up unless my people was in dire need of assistance. But yeah, to sit there and know how this man think about you, and you have to sit there and try to do business with them. And he's the leader of one of the strongest nations in the world. Oh, oh. Mm. Hmm. So yeah, I think the Africans are smart enough to know that Trump is going to come for their TPS as well. It seemed like to me he was working on the people that's closest to the border to try to get rid of a lot of them, like Central America and stuff. But then he's gonna the ones that have to fly in off of a visa, that's something different. All right. You can track those people. And I'm quite sure they're working on it right now. So yeah, they want us to stand with them now. They want us to be one with them now because they know they need to protect themselves while Trump is in office. That's all it's about. It's not really about delineation. They're trying to say we hate them. I mean, these people carrying on like victims and shit. Oh, they not say the S word. They carrying on like victims, but they're not. And listen, they just simply want to stand with us to protect themselves from Trump when he do come to end their TPS. We let this truck pass by. They want to be able to stand with us, hide behind us, identify as us, have us stand up for them. Remember the last time he tried to send home the American Liberians? Well, they weren't American Liberians. He tried to send the Liberians home. But American Liberians is the ones that started Liberia. So, of course, it affects them, even though they don't F with the African Liberians. Complicated, I learned about it. But listen. Those people were on the news crying, those American Liberians. They were like, they don't want to go back to that place. You guys can look that up. They were like, no, no, it's better. Please don't send me back to that place. They got cannibals over there. Don't send me back over there. Please don't. No, Mr. Trump. Oh, yeah. So listen, it was a lot of Black Americans that stepped up on their behalf to speak on their behalf to remain in America. And they have just ruined that with all the disrespect. And playing victim ain't gonna get you too far. That's not gonna get you far at all. Nobody's out here attacking Africans. But we do know of stories that Africans have went out and attacked the ADOS FBA family and said it was because they hated them. Oh yeah, there's a few of those out there. But we have no record of any ADOS FBA person attacking an African simply out of hatred for them. We pay no attention to Africans. They're irrelevant in our books, in our eyes, in our existence. Irrelevant. They pose no threat at all. They want to go about acting though as the ADOS FBA family delineating is a hate hate group. Well, now wait a minute. How is ADOS FBA family delineating from you a hate group and xenophobic simply because that's what I don't get. It's such a sad thing to see when these people just do not want to accept when these you have the ADOS FBA family, aka Black Americans, they're simply saying, hey, look, we reject Pan-Africanism. We don't want to have anything to do with it anymore. And because we've been greatly disrespected by a lot of the African people all through social media, very much disrespected by them. We don't want to have anything to do with Africans. We don't want to be identified as them. We don't want to claim anything about African. We don't want to have anything to do with anything African. We deny even African ancestry to this point. We don't want to have anything to do with them. I think it's great. The disrespect is crazy. And so now it's come to that point, and baby, they are having a freaking fit. The Africans are losing it. They're like, no, oh no, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? The Pan Africans are going bonkers. Yo, the Pan Africans are going bonkers. No, no. I just started a business over in Africa. We no, mm, mm, mm. They're all losing it because the FBA ADOS family said, aka Black Americans said, we reject everything African. The ancestry, the name, everything African. We reject. You say what? You say it wouldn't be us without an African? You do know we're an admixture, right? But anyway, you say it wouldn't be us. We wouldn't exist without an African. We exist because of you. What? Well, we reject African ancestry too. Which we're no longer that anyway. That was our ancestors. As I heard on a panel before, I forgot where it was. The young lady said, listen, I'm not African. A dog is of the wolf ancestry, has wolf ancestry. But is a dog a wolf? No. Y'all follow that? So, yeah, I'm very happy that the ADOS FBA family, aka Black Americans, have decided to reject everything African. Everything African. So that means we won't be supporting. Y'all didn't put Richie Lou out of Rich, y'all disrespect him, bro, and put Richie Lou Dennis out of business. The man had it going on, but y'all done ruined it. I'm gonna tell you how in a second. Y'all done put a lot of Pan Africans out of business over there, starting companies and hoping and that Black Americans, aka ADOS FBA family, would go there. You do know a lot of ADOS FBA family is moving out of Africa because Trump, a lot of the embassies there in those countries have closed down because Trump stopped all visas and stuff. So in order for them to deal with their embassy, they have to go over to another country or somewhere that still has an embassy, American embassy there. So the people are packing up and coming back to America. Dang, Trump know what he doing, huh? You know what he doing? Look at that. he, he naturally getting them all out of the other countries. He know that they're gonna leave when they realize they have no protection in those countries because the American embassy has abandoned those countries. And so the people, the American citizens, has also decided to abandon the country because they have no protection there. And they don't want to get stuck there with those people. Because if they thought highly of the people and they've been living there for years and years, some of them over a decade, why would you leave just because the American embassy left? You don't want to get stuck with those people with no protection whatsoever. That's why. Let's keep it real, people. Okay? Let's keep it real. Listen, I think the ADOS FBA family being real nice. Because I tell you the truth, they can be calling on a whole lot of people, but they aren't. They're not. because we're not like y'all. Okay. So, um, the cheap labor is over now. The cheap labor movement. Democrats is out, Republicans in, which Donald Trump don't consider himself a Republican, but independent, but the independent in, and he's changing up the game, baby. Okay? But yeah, that's what it is. The Africans, the black immigrants, they losing it. Why are you delineating? Please, no, don't. You have to understand, we're one, we're one. I mean, just this stuff is crazy. I don't know what I'm listening to when I see them and hear them. It's like they're saying we're a hate group because we don't want to have anything to do with them. They're saying even stuff that we want to harm them simply because we don't want anything to do with them anymore. We have decided to, and trust me, this is not just online. We have decided to not have anything to do with them. You guys do understand the Black Lives Matter group started online, right? You do understand that? It started all online, and then they took it to the streets. Okay? You use your internet tools for your better. It was a major organization that started movement, Black Lives Matter, and it started online. Okay? Remember when you guys thought that the ADOS FBA movement was a joke and it wasn't growing, it wasn't going to go anywhere, it was going to fade out? No, it's actually growing. And pretty soon you're going to see it in reality. Okay? So, yeah, nobody's sitting around plotting to kill Africans or anybody else. Stop trying to make ADOS FBA movement a hate group, because it's not. A xenophobic group, call it, if you want to call it xenophobic, call it that. But we just don't want to have anything to do with Africans again, or Black immigrants that disrespect the culture, trying to claim things that aren't theirs. And they're all having a fit. They're in their feelings big time. I've never seen such a thing. I'm like, whoa, those Pan Africans and Caribbeans, they're like really into their feelings. Like, oh my gosh, just because they see the ADOS FBA movement growing, and they feel like we have to be one with, girl, they are in their feelings, honey. Anyway, it's kind of creepy and crazy all at the same time. Like, I don't know. But anyways, let's get to something else before I wrap this up. I just wanted to get my take on the whole ADOS FBA delineating movement that's growing. And boy, them Black immigrants is getting scared that they about to be on their own. No support, no connection at all to the ADOS FBA family. Okay. All right. So, oh, I almost forgot about this. Child, I have been watching some videos and they have a lot of people that's self-deporting, which I think is a good idea. They have a lot of families self-deporting. Because, if you don't, if they don't self-deport, they risk going to detention centers. So to me, it's better to self-deport. And they are packing up, leaving their houses, their vehicles, their businesses, yes, and jobs too. Okay, people, so get your credentials together so that you can go and get you a job. You might want to look through some how people sell houses these days for the like real cheap. I ain't talking about putting it on the market. I ain't talking about that. Like they're gonna be selling vehicles, everything. Because people are self-deporting now. Yeah. Yep. Boy, I know those what they call those people that move into the houses when you go on vacation? Squatters. Oh my gosh, the squatters are about to have some luxury homes. Listen, I remember one time hearing the news story where the ladies at the shelter, they had families at the shelter, and the shelter employees were telling, they had gathered them together and they showed them how to go and squat in a house. Kid you not, it was on the news. And they had a bunch of them squatting because the shelter employee had formed a group and showed them how to do it. Some people lived in their house over a year and got the utilities turned on in their names, so it was hard to get them out. Nice homes. And I'm like, well, where the people at who own the homes? Because that person probably died. Yeah. That's what I'm always like. Where the people at who own the homes, though? Hmm. So, anyways, honey, I know them people gonna be ready. So go look for them abandoned houses, okay? Shush. And the people can't take it with them, so they just gotta leave it. Period. Well, they can try to sign it over to somebody for cheap, you know, get a few dollars out of it. Okay, so moving along, let me talk about this right here so I can close this up. Um, Let me say this right quick. The Liberians were the first group to form a FBA, Foundational Black American Movement. When I say Liberians, I'm talking about American Liberians, the original American freed Black Americans from America when they went to, when the white people brought them over to Africa and bought some land for them to build up their settlement, their country. When they built that country up, they named it Liberia. And let me tell you how they operated it. They had some people from America, which were the original ones that built the country. They called themselves Americo-Liberians. And then they had Caribbeans that went there, the Barbados Caribbeans. Then they had Haitians went there. They always really wanted the elite type of people to come. People with like doctor degrees and lawyers and all that kind of stuff, teachers. And so it wasn't just American Liberians. There was Caribbean Liberians, Haitians. I think they had some from Brazil too, if I'm not mistaken. But here's the thing. When the American Liberians welcomed the other um, uh, people to come to the land of freedom, the country where it's freedom, um, they didn't allow them into their compound. So the American Liberians had built their compound up. When I say compound, they live in area up. When the Barbadians got over there, they gave them an area that they had to build themselves. They did not allow the Barbadians or Haitians to come to their compound, into their area and live. No. Mm-mm-mm-mm. That was for FBAs, foundational Black Americans, who now call themselves Liberians, Americo Liberians. They told them, you have to go over there. We give you this space over here and build up your stuff. Stand on your own 2 feet so that you can have something to be proud of in this country. Build your own settlement here so your people who come behind you can be proud. And we won't have no problems of confusion. Same thing with the Haitians. They gave them some land, told them, here, build yourself up over there. But they did not allow them to come into their compound, their living space and area. They were the first ADOS FBA movement in Africa. What you think about that, Carla? Sure enough, they were. Now, many of the Barbadians, the Caribbeans, left and returned home. A lot of them died, and a lot of them, they couldn't handle the mosquitoes and stuff. And a lot of them went back home because it was too hard for them to build. They weren't successful in building up their land area. Same thing with the Haitians. And on top of that, the American Liberians had made it a law in their books that the only people that was to be president over Liberia, their country that they founded and established for the land of the free, were to be of American lineage. They did not allow presidents that were not of American Liberian lineage. That's the first ADOS FBA movement outside of America, established by American freedmen. Okay, Black American freedmen. And that's something. So, just to give you a little touch on history, we in America, we're not the first to delineate. That is what you call delineating right there. Or they didn't even have to delineate. They pretty much established boundaries, which they should have. And that's biblical, but I ain't gonna get into that right now. Because when the Israelites, when God put them in the land of Canaan, he had them do the same thing. Each group, even though they were all Israelites, each 12, it was 12 tribes of Israelites, and each tribe had to go under their own banner in their own area of the land. Wasn't no confusion. When they wanted to find somebody who did something, they were able to go directly to this person's tribe and pinpoint them, rather than saying, "Oh, it's all Israelite men." Nope, no confusion. See, when you organize and categorize, you can trace a person straight back to their family. And what happens is that they bring shame to their family, not to the whole lineage of Israelites, but to their family directly. And then the rest of the Israelites deal with them accordingly. So, of course, I believe in delineation, organizing and categorizing so that you can trace people straight back to their families. They bring shame to their families that way, not to the whole lineage of people. Okay? But yeah, ADOS FBA, the first ADOS FBA delineation or not delineation, but the first ADOS FBA, the first ADOS FBA movement or organization that I not organization, but movement you could say, because that's how they were moving. That's the first I've seen it. Right there in Liberia. Yep. Right in Liberia. So I just wanted to share that with you because a lot of people don't realize that. Oh, yeah, they're going crazy too about this boycott thing, honey. Listen, we all don't know ADOS FBA frequent any type of African businesses. They're strictly talking about hair braided shops where the women are very disrespectful to the ADOS FBA customers of women who go there to get their hair braided. And don't tell me they're not, because I've been one of them. Those women are very disrespectful. They have a great dislike. Listen, they had a young lady, she was Nigerian. They didn't know that. And it was a Nigerian braiding shop, but they didn't know she was American. She was Nigerian American. And she spoke the language, but they didn't know this, right? They thought she was one of us. And so they were dragging home girl right in her face. And she understood everything they were saying. So when she got outside, she cut on her YouTube and she showed the shop and everything. It was like, look how they treat us. Don't come here, nobody. Y'all don't come here now. She was of their lineage, but she was American, Nigerian American. And they mistook her for one of us sisters, those FBA. And she was like, she exposed them. And that goes on all the time. They're very disrespectful. I would advise any sisters not to go in there. I suggest you go ahead for they voodoo your damn head. I, I suggest you go to a Black American braiding shop. They have plenty of them. Or go to somebody's house. That's why I learned to do all my hair on my own. Like, just go somewhere else. You don't have to go there. Okay. And they're going to regret that. We now know how they treat those FBA customers. And yes, I do believe in boycotting such business. Okay. And the African men, they know that these women be disrespecting the ADOS FBA sisters in them. They know this. I don't know why they playing victim and playing dumb. They know this happens. So yeah, I'm glad that that is taking effect. No more of that. Ooh, them shops about to be empty. All that disrespect, that stuff catch up with you, baby. It catch up with you. Them shops about to be empty, honey. Dang it. Yeah, you can't keep disrespecting people and think that it's okay, you know? So I spoke on the AU, right? I say how disrespectful that was. And is. And it's childish, it's sad, it's disrespectful, and it's manless to do such a thing. You can't get the respect of a man doing such things, trying to make people included in your BS. That shows your mindset. It ain't right. And it's not any righteousness in it, in that mind. Okay. So I think I'm a let me see. I think that yeah, I talked about that. I talked about how Africans are mad because Black immigrants mad because we delineate. They trying to say we're a hate group and everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're being so dramatic, falling out of your crap. Oh no, oh, I think they hate us. Oh my gosh, they hate us. But why? Why do they hate us so much? Oh, oh, they're gonna try to harm us. Oh, I can tell. Girl, we ain't even thinking about you, MFers. We online just spread word to leave your shops and stuff alone. That's all. Don't F with you. That's all. Why is you out here being dramatic? See, that's the unrighteousness in you. That's in y'all mind. Y'all have a mind of war. Now, why would you accuse the ADOS FBA family of trying to war with you? And all they doing is delineating. They ain't say nothing about killing you. They ain't say nothing about wiping you out of the face of the earth. They ain't say nothing like that. Ain't no kind of violence came out of these people's mouths. But here you is sitting up here insinuating that they want to um, harm you. You people are really wicked, behave, and you're war minded. You're tribal in the mind. You just want a war with another black group of people. And then playing the victim on top of it. Lord have mercy. God don't like ugly. This is ugly. It's so sad. Talking about y'all save us. Our traditional stuff. Save what? Who? You can't even save yourself. They don't even got no toilets over there where you're from and stuff. Come on, cut all that foolery out. Just be make like, ooh, girl. Ooh, ooh. I gotta tell you, I ain't lying, no offense, but I am glad the people are moving away from it and delineating completely. When I say completely, they to the point, we to the point, we don't even want to identify with you in no kind of ways. We deny everything about you. We're not you. Our ancestors, we may have had some ancestry way back in the day, connected to Africa, of course, but we're not you in no kind of ways. Period. Everything we do, we have nothing to do with you. We're not you. Stop trying to actually take control of our identity and our culture. You're weirdos. You do know that's weirdo stuff. To try and take control of somebody's identity by trying to get us to call ourselves African, calling yourself Black American, and then trying to take control of our culture as well via Richard Lou Dennis. Okay? It's weird, weirdo stuff. I would never beg an African. So, one second. I would never beg an African to to be me. One second, people. Yeah, I would never get mad with an African who say, I don't want to have anything to do with ADOS FBA. I don't want to identify with them in any kind of way. You guys did that, but as long as you told us we wasn't African, I don't think nobody was upset about that. Now that we delineating, you got a problem. That's not cool. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, so where am I? I'm not going to talk about the Richard Lou Dennis guy and how he has partnered with Queen Latifah, y'all. He's partnered with Queen Latifah to draw in the ADOS FBA family, women. So this man have a whole plan at hand. Listen, This man has his Pan-Africanism is him buying up all Black American companies. He's funding all of Black American women, ADOS FBA women. He's okay, wait a minute. He's funding businesses, films, content creation, anything Black American women want to do as entrepreneurs, he's funding it. But Queen Latifah is the face of it to draw you in, ADOS FBA sisters. He's using Queen Latifah. He partnered with her to use her as the face to draw you into his business. Mm-hmm. And he's going to fund all your business. So everything you do belongs to him. Remember what it's about. The ADOS FBA women spending power. He wants to capture your spending power. ADOS FBA sisters. Queen Latifah has partnered with him. She is the face of it to draw you in as though he is not the face of it, but she is the face of it, but he's the Pan-African behind it. And when he funds all your businesses, he funds a lot of content creators, actually. When you see him be traveling around and all that, that's because his group funds them. Filmmakers, and you know who I had thought about? That girl who made that HBO series, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm African." I'm like, "Well, you sure don't look African. You don't remind me of no African either." And come to find out, she's from Louisiana, but she have a dad that's African. And I'm like, "Well, why is she hyping up her daddy African lineage?" And she don't say nothing about her mama. Every time you hear her talking, she just be like, "I'm African, I'm African, I'm African." Girl, sit down somewhere. What's her name? She had the TV show C. Izza. Was it Izza? Essa? It was on HBO. Anyways, yeah, she was one of the people he funded for a film. Um, my phone keeps clicking. Give me a second. Yeah, she was one of the people that he funded. And you guys can look that up. But the whole point is this is how he's capturing the spending power of Black America via ADOS FBA women, aka Black American women, by funding all of your entrepreneurship businesses, whether it be content creation, whether it be film, businesses, a tech company, whatever it is, they're gonna fund it. And he using his money that he purchased. He sold his company called Sundown Brands. He sold all his company to a different Unilever, and he sold it for so much. And he's using all of his money now to work on capturing the ADOS FBA spending, women's spending power, because women spend more than the men. Okay, we definitely spend more on ourselves and our children than men do. Okay. And so how he's doing it, like I say, he's using Queen Latifah as the face, but she's not, baby. Just dismiss her face and just remember she works for a Pan-African man who fund business of Black women, Black American ADOS FBA women. But he will be the boss. He will get all the money is gonna and the companies go to him. He has holding over it. Not only that, he's not only doing it for ADOS FBA women, but he's incorporating the women together. He wants the face of it to be ADOS FBA women, aka Black American women, by using Queen Latifah, while he's also funding different other ethnic Black women groups as well, trying to make them all one, which is Pan-Africanism. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's Pan-Africanism. And that is how he is trying to capture the spending power of the ADOS FBA lineage people via the ADOS FBA lineage women who birthed the ADOS FBA people. Because we spend the most on us and our children. So to the ADOS FBA lineage women, beware, understand, watch out for some of these Black American women, ADOS FBA women, that, you know, when they ask to fund your business, they contact you on YouTube or whatever was your content creation, whatever they want to fund your business and whatever. You just know when you get in your bag, you just know this, that you are funding, you are helping your culture to be taken control over by Pan-Africanists or ism, because he's most certainly a Pan-Africanist. And let me tell you what they're going to do eventually. He's going to go back to his country, Liberia, which was built by freed Black Americans. And those freed Black Americans had many descendants in that country that was born there. And they want their country back from the savages, they call them, the local Africans. They do want their country back. They're not worried about them Africans who, you know, they're like, you can come back and build it, but you will never ever run this country again. Oh, child. I don't think they even concerning themselves with them. Because if you want to eat, anybody who stands against the person with all the money who's coming to make that country something great, you're gonna have tribes and tribes jumping on them. Because let me tell you, some of them tribes want to eat. They want to live in a country that's successful. And if he coming like that with the money and with all that to build up Liberia, build it back up, they gonna say, baby, you got control. And anybody that stand against them, yeah, you're gonna be done, tossed. Okay? So yeah, that's how they coming for the spending power of the ADOS FBA family via the ADOS FBA women. And ladies, it's up to you to show how you say, oh, don't be selling essence, don't be selling this. But when they contact you on your YouTube content creation and all that, talking about, hey, we'll give you, if you want to start a business, we can start you a business. We can fund you $200,000. I've never had that kind of money. Next thing you know, you're a business owner. But you must remember, you also have taken part in turning your culture over in the hands of Pan-Africanists. Okay. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this live stream. And you know. Oh, and one more thing I want to touch up on before I end the live stream. Honey. Give me a second. Give me a second. I heard a joke on the YouTube streets and they were saying that we don't do rice-offs. Rice-offs? As in like jambalaya versus jollof and cynical jollof versus Nigerian jollof. Somebody was like, look here, we don't do them rice-offs. I know that's right. They try to get us involved in rice-off talking about jambalaya versus jollof. We like, don't bring us into your shit. What is you talking about? We have nothing to do with that. Who cares about rice? Rice? We like, what? What? How stupid. Mm-mm-mm. That's all that Pan-Africanist stuff. Listen, we don't do rice sauce. um, it's about time that Africans understand they're gonna have to stand on their own 2 feet, the Pan-Africans and Africans, and go ahead on and Carla, go ahead on and move to Liberia on your own and stop begging ADOS FBA, aka Black Americans, to come with you. Please leave us alone, sir. Ain't none of us entertaining your wacky ass. Okay, you are none of them other Pan Africans who clearly disrespect us, by the way. I mean, they say the worst things about us, but you want us to come to Africa with you. You guys are nuts. You're nutcakes. Wait a minute. I want Africans to come to my country. Well, no, say I want Jamaicans to come to my country, and I'm trying to sway them to come to my country for whatever reason, but yet they get online and they hear me and my people dragging them. Does that make sense? No, it shows just how wacky you guys are. Don't even make no sense. It's pure foolery. I think those people are bored with themselves and don't have a positive bone in the body. Okay? Because without respect, you have nothing. We have nothing. There's no relationship without respect. You can't talk to anybody without respect. And you guys have showed great disrespect to the ADOS FBA family, aka Black Americans. If your parents are immigrants, you are not a Black American, sweetheart. Period. Point blank. Okay, wherever your parent is from, you are that, and then put the word American behind it if you're born here. Okay? Let's stop all the foolery, all the games, the disrespect. You can't win by disrespecting people. You just can't win like that. That's not how you win. Okay, so mhm. I am I am happy. Yeah, I am happy to be me. And you guys should be happy to be you. Mm, you know, just have some self respect. When people say they don't want to identify as you, they don't want to be a part of you, no, thank you. We're delineating. Don't get dramatic and start making things up, talking about people a hate group and they want to harm you. Just lying and being hateful and deceitful. It's so wicked to do such a thing. Because somebody tell me, "Oh, girl, I'm not interested in coming to your braiding shop no more because I really don't like how your braids, come out or whatever." I'm not gonna say, "Oh, she hates me," or "She," but what? All that old stuff. That's ridiculous. That's childish. And maybe it is just, some people online but it's a real thing. ADOS FBA movement is growing. The lineation movement is growing. Trust me, you're gonna see it out and about in public in a few. Okay, and we talking in a few months. It's not an online thing, sweetie. It started online. Okay, and nobody ain't worried about harming no Africans because you guys are completely irrelevant. We about to have a whole bunch of job opportunities out here for us and all that good stuff. Child, we ain't worried about you. Trump is concerned with you guys getting you out of this country because he don't like you. He called you people from shithole countries. and he know what you guys do in your country. Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's all about respect. That's all. Oh, and one more thing. They say in Minnesota the Muslims are taking over, sweetie. They say they out there buying up everything. And they got a young man running for mayor now. And he demanding the ICE don't come to his city. I say, what? So the spotlight is on Minnesota for a minute with the Somalians. They say the Muslim community of Somalians are taking over, buying up everything, and trying to make Minnesota, Muslim centered. I said, oof. Now, one thing Americans, I ain't talking about Black Americans, you know what I'm saying? One thing they don't like, because this a Christian country, if you don't know, this country is Christian. And girl, one thing they don't like is the Muslim community is growing. So we shall see how that turned out, honey. And when I saw the young man on TV, he looked, his eyes like, I mean, he, he like, I said what I said and I meant what I said. That's what I said. I don't want ICE in my city. You heard it. I'm going to take control and make this a Muslim-centered city. he don't look like he playing though. He was scared the shit out of me if I was next to him. I mean, his eyes, oof, like, oof, I don't think he playing, y'all. But anyways, we shall see how that go because, right now, all eyes are on the Minnesota people trying to do the takeover, the Somalian people in Minnesota. And Minnesota is predominantly white. I don't know what's going on there. I know last time I was there, I think it was around 2010. It was predominantly white. They had some from Chicago and stuff running out of Chicago over there, but it wasn't a heavy population of blacks at all. It's predominantly white, especially when you go outside of Minnesota. But I did have a friend in St. Paul, and it had a whole lot of Somalian people there too. So maybe it has grown since I left, but honey, they about to do the takeover. Or they're trying. So we shall see how that goes. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button if you like the content, what you heard. It's all right. Remember, my opinions is my opinions, not yours.